scientific papers, ranging in topics from dark energy and cosmology to black holes and extrasolar planets. And he has received numerous awards for his research, including having been selected the Carnegie Centenary Professor by the University of Scotland and the Dance Distinguished Lecturer by the University of Washington. He is also a Fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science. Dr. Livio may be best known as an author of 5 popular science books. He has received the Beano Prize and the International Pythagoras Prize for his book, The Golden Ratio. Not only is he a best-selling author and a gifted academic, but he is also passionate about art and science and the intersection of art and science. And as such, he is the science advisor to the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra. Tonight, Dr. Livio will discuss his most recent book, Brilliant Blunders, which appeared on the New York bestsellers list and was selected by the Washington Post as one of 2013's best books of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage with his talk, Brilliant Blunders, Dr. Mario Livio.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. I should warn you that I have ADHD, so I walk a lot. I cannot stand in one place. Why blunders? As I was writing this book, my colleagues, and it took almost 4 years, my colleagues kept asking me, what is your book about? And I used to say, it's about blunders and it's not an autobiography. I would give you one simple reason why I decided to write a book about blunders now, but I will give you the more serious reason towards the end of the talk. The simple reason is that it is kind of comforting to the rest of us to know that even the greatest luminaries made some serious mistakes. In this book, I've chosen actually 5 people. I'm only going to talk about 3 today. The 5 people that I've chosen are Charles Darwin, Lord Kelvin, Linus Pauling, Fred Hoyle, and Albert Einstein. Most of these names are probably familiar to most or all of you. Maybe Fred Hoyle is a bit less familiar in this country, but he was one of the greatest astrophysicists of the 20th century, and certainly it was extremely well known in the UK. There are a few things that guided my thinking in terms of the people I chose and what I decided to do. So the first thing I should note is I only chose to discuss one blunder for each person, rather than making, a laundry list of all the possible mistakes that everyone has made. I should also say that in my choice of these people, I decided not to go too far back. In the sense that, you see, suppose I look at Aristotle. Essentially, everything that Aristotle said in physics is wrong. Now, that doesn't make him any less of a genius than what he was. He just, worked against a different background. So I only went back to the middle of the 19th century. There is also something that guided my choice of these 5 people, and that is the concept of evolution. And by that I mean evolution of life on Earth, evolution of the Earth itself, evolution of stars, and evolution of the universe as a whole. So the concept of evolution runs through all my people here. So now let me start. The first thing you notice about life on Earth is how diverse it is. It's enough, to go outside here now, and you're going to see lots of plants, insects, some people walking their dogs, birds fly, and so on. Nobody actually even knows precisely how many species there are on Earth. The latest very serious attempt to actually put a number on that came up with something like 8.7 million species. But numbers range all the way from 5 to about 100 million. And it's easy to see why there is such a large uncertainty, because number one, every year they discovered new species. And plus, you have to realize it's enough to take a teaspoon of dirt from under your feet, and there already are thousands of species in there. So we don't know how many, but we know that it's a very, very large number. The second thing we notice about life on Earth is an incredible degree of adaptation, and also this kind of scratch my back and I'll scratch yours type relationship, which we like to call symbiosis. You know, you look at the bee, and the bee has precisely the size that it fits into the flowers on which it feeds, and then the pollen gets on the bee's legs and body, and she moves it to the other flower and all that and so on. This clownfish that I have here, you know, it lives among the poisonous tentacles of this sea anemone. The fish protects the anemone protects the fish. The fish has this special mucus on its body that protects it against the poison of its host. So all of this, you know, this kind of very, very symbiotic relation. Now, these two facts, the enormous diversity and the incredible degree of adaptation, convinced many, many naturalists over centuries that there has to be some guiding hand and I don't know what, you know, and things like that. All of that changed when this gentleman here published in 1859 this book on the origin of species by means of natural selection. This is, of course, Charles Darwin. Here he is when he was older.